Alright, what's up, hoes? I wasn't really sure if I was going to make a video about this or not, but I figured a lot of you, or at least some of you, are here because you were keeping up with the Filian series content, as I've been keeping up with these events and the whole Filian possibly new debut, her return, XYZ. If you haven't heard, the whole Shibuya Crossing event has transpired. In the beginning, I knew that I would make a video about this, but at the same time, once it actually happened, I wasn't as sure because, nothing really actually happened. The more I looked into it and the more I kind of seen people's reactions and stuff, then I decided that, yeah, I will make a video about this. And not really so much to talk about the actual crossing itself and the billboard itself, but to kind of discuss everybody's reactions and stuff and kind of how I feel about it. So this one's going to be probably pretty short, but, I'm going to brush through a lot of this. Basically, if you haven't known, obviously there's the Vtuber Filian. She's disappeared. She's been gone for a long time, had a ARG and all this, and people have been waiting on her return. It's been over 6 months now. At one point there was a countdown clock, and then we were eventually introduced with The Wall, which was a giant art project in which everybody could draw their art on, and eventually it was told to us that this art would all end up on a giant billboard in Shibuya Crossing, and everyone was expecting that after that we would get a more direct answer as to when she was going to return or what's next. What ended up happening on July 13th, which was yesterday, was the billboard went up and that was it. Nothing actually happened. We didn't get any actual information truly. Now, this has all been an ARG kind of thing, so is there some information hidden within something? Perhaps. People haven't really discovered much about that yet or anything, so, that's to be determined. It's still early, so it's possible, but this is it. I'm gonna mute that real quick, kind of turn it down, it's kind of loud. But this was it. This was the video that posted by The Wall. As you can see, it's going here, just talking about the wall, strangers painting together, over 300,000 people. This is the wall, and then it flashes the wall. And if you remember in my last videos, I made a prediction that at the end of the video on the billboard or some shit, that we would get like a little snippet or like a clue or like, her like showing up or like a silhouette of the new model or something, right? Or something that says phase 3 or whatever, I don't know. But I did make a prediction, and that prediction appears to have been wrong. So nothing happened. So if you come here, we got the comments, people are not exactly too happy about it. You got some artists that are excited to see their art on here naturally. What does it mean? And Kitsu, I think she's more playing along, like what does it mean, like looking for deeper meaning with the ARG type shit, like I'm saying. You got people talking about happy about their art and stuff. You got a lot of people like, yay, that's so awesome. Now, where the fuck is Filian? Really? And then, I'm not going to read through a lot of this. This person has got a good question. Nice, congrats. How long will it stay there? That's a good question. I wonder the same thing. So, now what? You are taking way too long. It's not worth it. People are like just legitimately upset. What's next though? You know what I'm saying? Fuck yeah, and now for 6 more months of bullshit, basically. And it's a mixed bag. Mostly the people that are excited are just excited about the art. But then everybody else, now what, right? And so this is basically what I really wanted to talk about. This is why I really wanted to make the video. And that's because people's reaction is a little bit crazy to me. It's kind of like a mixed bag, right? On one hand, people have the right to be upset, when things don't go the way you want and things you love and care about aren't working out the way that you want them to. We get upset. That's a natural human reaction and stuff. And I feel like people have the right to voice that, I wish it was happening sooner. I wish we could have you back and stuff like that. But I feel like the way a lot of people approach this is really sort of negatively towards Filian herself and attacking her, just basically like dismissing this cool shit that she's doing. And a lot of people are bringing up the fact like, all right, this is pointless, like, okay, who is this for? It's a waste of money type shit. And while you could say that, I don't mean to say like this, but if you've actually been around and Filian is known for like doing crazy big things that might not work out the way she intended, right? Like, remember the whole boxer situation. You know, she's done this before. She's done this many times where she just gets a cool idea, a crazy cool idea, and maybe has it play out in her head a certain way where it's just the coolest shit in the world, but it doesn't actually go as smooth or as cool as she thought it would be in her head. But you cannot deny or commend her for just the actual idea itself, because it is cool. It's something that, you know, no VTuber has ever done. She's out here breaking records of like what VTubers can do, what the way they can interact with the real world, and, you know, the corners that they can reach if they put themselves out there to do so, while a lot of other people really don't do that. I mean, you get like some of the corpos and some of the massive VTubers like Iron Mouse or something putting themselves in corners that VTubers really don't be in often, but they still kind of feel like they're in some kind of comfort zone with it, right? I think the last time that we've ever really had anything even remotely like this was Gargura, right? When we started seeing Gargura, you know, singing at Dodgers games or whatever, and being a part of these, you know, larger than life areas that no one would have expected to see a VTuber at, right? And that was really the last time we saw anything like this. And now Filian's just out here doing it, but she's doing it by herself. She's not doing it with a corporation. She's not doing it with HoloLive, the biggest fucking VTuber corporation in the world, you know? So I guess to me, this upsets me less than a lot of other people, mostly just because, like, I know that something is coming. You know, obviously, this isn't happening for no reason at all. It's not just happening and then, oh, yep, by the way, she's not coming back. You know, something is going to happen and she's cooking, and just let her fucking cook. You know, yeah, that's a little upsetting, but there's nothing I can do about it. There's nothing any of us can do about it except for just wait patiently. Once it happens, it happens. But that's pretty much it for this video. I just wanted to like share that, like, I think it's a little bit bullshit that people are attacking, feeling like you're allowed to be upset. You're allowed to like talk about it and how you're upset. But I think like coming at her in this sort of way that it's like criticizing her shit, which is probably just something personal she wanted to do in her head, talking about like wasting money, like but she got so much money, most likely, that do you think that she really cares that much about like spending the money? I think she's just trying to entertain people. At the end of the day, she's just trying to keep people entertained and do cool things and say like, hey, I did that, you know? And how can you knock her for that? You know, what would you do with the money? It's not like you got money to change the world. It's not like it's that kind of money or something. So what would you do with the money? And what does she want to do with her money? She wants to make people happy. And I think she's trying to find a cool way to do that while simultaneously trying to come back, you know, make sure all of her shit is straight before, you know, but she didn't want to just remain silent. She's also not just coming back with like stupid little teasers over and over again. And she's like giving you events, things for people to participate in. And I think that's cool. If you're upset about Filian not being back and stuff, my advice to you is just be patient. Please just be patient. I know I'm not happy about it either. I miss the Filipino boy flipping around and shit too, crashing her face on the walls, risking her life for us. I miss it too. Let her cook. She's a person too. Just be patient, man. Just be patient.